Hi, this is Eric Hunt, and this is video number 3. And we're focusing on ecosystems today. The ecosystem that I specifically chose is the deep sea ecosystem, and how the organisms in this ecosystem acquire their nutrients, and also how nutrients are recycled throughout the ecosystem. So, basically, I'm going to start by introducing what is a deep sea ecosystem. So the ocean is comprised of many different layers, and what scientists consider the deep sea is the layers that lie below what they call the thermocline, or the area where there's the most rapid change in temperature in the waters. So it goes from the surface waters to the deep waters, and this is considered to be the turning point from the light zone to the dark zone. So the area in between is usually called the twilight zone, where it's transitioning from light to dark. So now we'll get into different features of different features of deep sea ecosystems. So very little or no light penetrates these lower layers of the ocean. This makes it almost impossible for photosynthesis to occur, because the sunlight cannot reach that deep into the ocean. So this causes a big problem for plant growth. Almost no plants really grow towards the bottom of the sea, just because so little light is able to.
So the deep sea contains multiple different layers. The topmost layer is the bathypelagic zone, which starts at 1,000 meters and goes down to 4,000 meters. The next layer is the abyssopelagic zone, which starts at 4,000 meters and goes down to a depth of 6,000 meters. And the last and most deep zone is the hadopelagic zone, which goes down to from 6,000 to 11,000 meters. And these are basically crevices in the ocean floor. Very, very deep, very high pressure.
So basically what I tried to do for this demonstration was recreate the layers of the ocean using this tubular glass here. So I know the writing is kind of hard to see, but you can see all of the different layers of the ocean that I tried to incorporate here. This is the topmost layer, which isn't, the top two most layers aren't included in the deep sea ecosystem. That's the epipelagic and the mesopelagic, which epipelagic ends at 2,000 meters and the mesopelagic ends at 1,000 meters. So what we're focusing on, like I said before, is the bathypelagic, the abyssopelagic, I know you can't really see that, and the hadopelagic, sorry. And these are, the crevices in the ocean floor that go down very, very deep.
So as you saw on the my little glass model there, there's different types of organisms that live in the deep sea. There are fish. The fish usually live in the top layer. The deepest fish can go down, really, most common fish anyways, is about between 3,000 and 4,000 meters. Anything below that, the pressure is just too great for them to survive. So many of these fish have developed special adaptations to help them deal with the lack of light that is present in the deeper layers of the ocean. One such adaptation would be fish that only have rod cells within their eyes, no cone cells. And another adaptation would be camouflage, which would reduce their silhouettes. So many predatorial fish would just look for the silhouettes in the water, and that's how they would know that there was prey there. But some fish have been evolved to get rid of their silhouettes or make it less obvious. So this is a much needed adaptation when surviving the depths of the ocean. Organisms that are living deeper within the ocean, below this 3,000 to 4,000 foot mark, would mostly be invertebrates. So organisms such as squids, jellyfish, starfish, tube worms, stuff like that, mostly because of their pliable bodies and their lack of bones and spines. So this makes it easier for them for their bodies to withstand the immense pressure that really builds up the deeper and deeper you go into the ocean. And of course, bacteria and other microbes also live deep in the ocean, and they are definitely an important part of the deep sea ecosystem as well.
So like we saw before, we have the multiple different types of organisms present on my little diagram model here. We got the anglerfish over here, which is, they live at about a 3,500 meter depth, somewhere in that range, where they have an adaptation where they have a light on their head actually that attracts smaller fish. So once they come towards them, they can just eat them really quickly. Squids, lower in depth, jellyfish over here, tube worms, basket stars, starfish, and sperm whales actually are, they can dive down to depths of about 10,000 meters to obtain food. They usually don't live down there, but they can go down to those depths.
So, moving on to how these organisms acquire their nutrients. Many of them rely on falling organic matter, otherwise known as marine snow. And this marine snow usually consists of either fecal matter from live organisms, organic matter that falls off of live organisms, or just pieces of dead organisms. And this can all be categorized in what they call detritus. So this is definitely an important part of how these organisms get their nutrients that they need, because there are not many resources towards the bottom of the ocean.
So I'm going to show you a quick demonstration of kind of how marine snow works and basically what happens. So we have our organic material here, aka some cat litter, but surprisingly it worked very well to demonstrate how the organic matter kind of floats down towards the bottom of the ocean. So if we take a little bit here and get a shot of this,
Drop it in, and you can see it just floats to the bottom of the ocean for all of the organisms who live down there to enjoy and consume. So this is a huge part of how organisms who live in the deep sea obtain their nutrients. Other ways these organisms can obtain nutrients, there are many predatorial fish and organisms down in the deep sea, so predation is present down there. Also, an important event in deep sea ecosystems is what they call whale falls. So as you can guess, this is when a whale dies of natural causes, or however it dies, and it slowly sinks to the bottom of the ocean. So this provides hundreds of tons of organic matter for many, many, many organisms to feast on. It also creates different homes for sulfur-loving organisms, because as the whale decomposes, sulfur is generated and released. So whale falls, definitely an important part of the deep sea ecosystem.
So just for fun, we'll pour the rest of the organic matter into here. It's a large amount of organic matter, so this could kind of represent a whale fall, even though it would mostly all be in one piece, but boom, all of that sinking to the bottom of the ocean. So it is very, like I said, whale falls are very important into
So I
the
thought
deep
this was a
sea
great
ecosystems.
diagram to represent nutrient recycling in the deep sea ecosystem. As you can see at the top, it starts with CO2 being absorbed into the ocean through the atmosphere. Um, and CO2 is used by many different organisms for growth and reproduction. You can see towards the bottom microbes feeding on excrement and decayed organisms in marine snow, like we talked about before, with marine snow being an important part of how many organisms obtain nutrients. And these microbes also cycle nutrients in deep sea sediments, which is also an important part of how organisms located on the sea floor uh, obtain their nutrients as well.
So, in conclusion, the deep sea ecosystem is very, very interesting. I've always been interested in what lies beneath the sea, and still there are many things unknown, especially about the deep sea. Scientists are still doing a lot of research and still developing ways to explore down in the depths of the sea, basically where humans can't reach. Many robot powered subs have attempted to capture videos of creatures that we've never seen before. So there's still many, many species down there that remain undetected and undiscovered, which I thought is very, very interesting. And these species are thriving through this complex ecosystem that is located under the sea and near the sea floor. So overall, I just thought it was a very interesting topic and could dive a little deeper into it. No pun intended. So thanks for watching and see you later.